Hey guys, this is Miss Mo. This is 1.1 and it starts out with place value. Here's a little place value chart, and let's go ahead and fill it in with this number right down below. It says example 453,003,951. Okay, so the 1 is going to go to the left of the decimal because there's a pretend decimal right after this 1. So if I want to fill out this chart right here, the 1 is going to go to the left of the decimal, and then let's keep filling it out like this. Okay, good. So now, before we talk about the words for this, let's look at these steps. And I made these handouts, so stuff is spelt wrong because I'm not a good speller. So this is supposed to say how to write or speak place value. My bad. Okay, first it says start on the left and write the numbers, the digits for each grouping. The part in between each set of commas or decimals is called the period. Okay, so we're going to start on the left. We're going to start at this 4, and it says write the numbers for each grouping. So the first grouping is 453, and those are called the digits. Digits means numbers. Okay, first grouping period, let's see what that says. It says step 3, write the period, the place value word at the right of your 3-number grouping. So let's look at my 3-number grouping, 453. The word that I'm going to use to describe this is the word for the right of your 3-number grouping. So whatever word is for the number on the very right of this 453, that's the word I'm going to write down. So millions. So our first grouping is 453. Its period just means what word do we land on the very right side of that grouping, and it lands on millions. Okay, let's go to the next grouping. This 003. The second grouping digits are 003. Or in your homework, it might just take 3 and no zeros. Okay, the grouping of the period, let's remember it says the place value word at the right of your 3-number grouping. Okay, so my 3-number grouping is this 003. Whatever number is on the very right, which is the 3, is the word that I'm going to write down. So that 3 comes from the word thousands, so I'm going to write thousands. Okay, now let's look at the third grouping digits. The third grouping is this 951, and the number on the very right is this 1, and it's in the 1 space. Yay! So we're gonna say 951, and then we're gonna say ones. Okay, let's see here. Step 6 says, do not use the word ones for the last group. And then it says the only time you say the word and is for a decimal. Well, we don't even have a decimal in my problem, so I'm not going to have the word and. Okay, so now we're going to write this in words. How do I write 453? Do I say 453 or 435? How does this go? Well, this is, the 3 is in the 1 spot. The 5 is like a 20, 30, 40, 50. The 4 is in the hundreds, like 100, 200, 300, 400. So we're going to say this is 400. So that takes care of the 4 because it's in the 100 spot. 53. I think I spelled that wrong. 50. Oh well. Okay, 53. And then you're going to put the word millions. And that's how you describe that first grouping of 4, 5, 3 on the left. Then we put a big fat comma and we move to the next grouping. The next grouping says 0, 0, 3. But when I say that out loud, I don't say the zeros. I just say 3. So let's write down that word, 3. Okay. Then write down its period or wherever it lands, which is thousands. Okay, then to talk about the next grouping, we put a comma and we write down the words for 9, 5, 1. 9 is in the hundreds, 5 is in the 50s, 1s is in the ones. So we're going to say 951. I'll spell it wrong again. There we go. 51. And then after we say the number, we're supposed to say the period word, the word millions or the word thousands. So see where you have the word millions, we have the word thousands. But at the very step 6, it says do not use the word ones for the last group. So I'm going to write down 951, but I'm not going to write down the word ones after it. So this is not 951 ones. You don't include that last word ones. Okay, so this can be read as a number as 453 million, 3,951, and then we don't put the ones. Okay, let's look at this sucker below it. It's kind of the same thing. It says rewrite the number 55692 in words. Okay, well, let me just maybe write down my number up in this place value because I need a little help. Okay, so the decimal is actually right after this 6. You can't tell, but that's where the decimal would start. So I'm going to fill this in. Let's see, we have I'll use black this time. 6, 2, 2, 2, 9, 6. It feels weird going backwards. Okay, 5, 5. Okay, there we go. Okay, so now we're going to come up with the first period or your grouping. And we start on the left. So my first grouping in between the commas is this 55. Okay, so I'm going to write 55. 55. Then you write down the word that it lands on. And it says write the period on step 3, write the period, the place value word, at the right of your 3 number grouping. Okay, so here's my grouping 55. You can pretend there's a 0 in front. Now there's 3 number grouping. Okay, so 55, and that 5 lands on the millions. So I say 55 millions, comma, then let's go up. My next grouping, the digits, the numbers are 692. But how do we say that? We usually say the 6 is in the hundred, so 692. And then where does this land on the right side? That very last number of the 692, it lands on the thousands. So we're going to say 692 lands on the thousands. 692, and never ever write the word and unless there's a decimal. So I have not had a decimal, so do not write the word and. If you say 692, it's wrong. So 692, and then that 2 landed on the word thousands. So let's write down thousands. Huzzah. Now let's look at this 226. That would be 226. And the last word that it lands on is ones. So we're going to say 200 26, do not write the word and. And then usually we would say 226 and the word that we land on, ones. But that kind of looks like 61s. And up here it says, do not write the word ones for the last group. So let me scratch out that word ones. Okay. So this number is 55,692,226. Done. Okay, let's go backwards. It says write the number from the following sentence using digits. Okay, there are 2,200,000 parachute jumps in a country each year. Okay, so let's go back up to this place chart up here. Okay, we want 2 million. 2 million. So here's million, and I want a 2 there. I'm just going to write along the top because I kind of ran out of room underneath. Okay, so there's the 2 million. Then it says 200. Those are my digits. How do I write 200? 200. And it lands on the thousands word. So after this 2 for the 2 millions, we're going to put 200. And it should land on the thousands word. And it did. Woohoo! All right, and then what's after that? It doesn't say any numbers after it. So I'm just gonna put a bunch of zeros after it. All the way until the decimal. So this looks like 2 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 zeros. So we have 2 for the 2 million, 200 for this word 200. It lands in the thousand spot. That last zero is in the thousand spot. And then there's no other words after this. So I'm just going to fill it in with zeros. Let's see if I have the correct amount of zeros. It's supposed to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Huzzah! Yes. Okay, let's keep. Oh, that's all of 1.1. Huzzah!